Good afternoon. It is 5:59 coming up on 6 o'clock. We now have a new tornado warning that is in effect for portions of Chautauqua County and portions of Cattaraugus County. It is for this storm right here that is coming basically through Faulkner. That was the storm that was coming through Bemis Point that had a spotter report of a rotating wall cloud, and now they have issued a tornado warning for it. This actually does include downtown Jamestown. So if you're Jamestown, downtown Jamestown to the north, you are in the tornado warning. So you need to be in a safe place right now. If you are in Faulkner, you need to be in a safe place. If you're in Randolph and Cat County along I-86, you need to be in a safe place. If you are in I-86, if you are on I-86 right now, you need to pull off and find a more substantial shelter, whether that would be a gas station, a restaurant, a convenience store, any place that'll take you. Get your mask, put it on, and go inside and wait out this storm. Also, if you're in a mobile home, you do not want to be in that mobile home either. And again, no mobile homes, no cars, in a site-built structure that is a small room on the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. That is where you need to be for this. And again, it is for this storm right here that is in question. I'm going to hop into the office very quickly, and I'm going to switch this back over to the reflectivity data and show you the storm in question that we're looking at. And you can see here, if I turn the lightning on here, there has been hundreds and hundreds of ground strokes. Again, notice all these lightning strikes right here. And again, that is a live lightning count, 292 strikes, and that is a 10-minute interval. So these storms are producing tremendous lightning, but it's going to be right back here in the back. Let me take that lightning data off, and because that'll be easier to see, but it's going to be right in here. Whoops, there we go. Right in here. This is the area of concern where there could be a possible tornado right here. And again, it looks like almost the same as it did earlier today with that storm that came up in the northern end of Chautauqua County. It's got that kidney bean shape and a hook back in the back edge. There has been a reported rotating funnel cloud with this storm that is basically when it came through Bemis Point, east of Bemis Point, there was a report of a funnel cloud with that storm. And again, this storm is moving to the east, northeast, and so it's moving like this. So again, even though downtown Jamestown to the north, you're actually involved in this warning, even though the storm is moving to the north, I would still be in your safe place. I mean, you know, there's no guarantees in life, so I would be in your safe place if you're Jamestown to the north. Now, coming out here, this is basically going to include, this will also include Frewsburg, which is right down here. Let me kind of, well, yeah. But anyway, it's kind of right underneath my computer. There, it is there. And this is a tornado warning. And again, this is the same thing that we talked about before, how these storms have the potential to produce a weak tornado here. And again, it's this right here in question. Notice this little comma shape right here, that kidney bean shape. That is always suspicious when you look at that. Let's switch over to the velocity data very quickly, and let's take a look at the rotation and see what we have here. And that is storm relative, that is Doppler. I think the storm relative might give us a better look at this. So again, the rotation is going to be right here where you see the red and the green coming together. That is called a velocity couplet. That is where there is rotation occurring with this storm. And it's going to be right here. That is near Faulkner. Faulkner is about right here. So it's coming across, basically, it just crossed I-86, now coming basically through the northern end of Faulkner, going out like this. So again, even though Jamestown, you're in the warning, downtown to the north, if you're in the southern part of Jamestown, you're not involved in this. One of the things that we've learned a long time back is people don't understand how these warnings work. Not the whole county. You might hear that Chautauqua County is under a tornado warning, not the whole county. You notice this flashing red polygon, that is the area of concern. That is where the tornado warning is in effect. It does not include Sinclairville. It does not include any part to the north, does not include Cherry Creek, does not include Dunkirk, does not include Fredonia, Ripley, Westfield, any of those communities. It is basically from, I would say, well, the warning polygon, it basically extends all the way back to almost Bemis Point, although the storm is basically further to the east here. So downtown Jamestown to the north, upwards about the Jamestown airport, which sits about right in here is where the airport sits, right about, just kind of roughly, that's where it roughly sits, moving to the east. And this storm right there, you can see the rotation popping up right there. So again, that is going to be the potential where there could be a tornado. And again, the Weather Service has reported they had a trained storm spotter. This is somebody who's trained, who knows what they're looking at, reported a rotating funnel cloud near Bemis Point. And again, they issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this probably about 20 minutes ago. And then they just upgraded to a tornado warning about 10 minutes ago. So again, this tornado warning is going to stay in place until 6:45. This afternoon. And let me put the reflectivity data back on here, and you'll see that the storm in question is still looking pretty nasty here. And you can see it right there. This is the storm in question right here. Let me bring up my telestrator here and just highlight that spot for you. It is this area right there where you see that little kidney bean shape. There's the new sweep of the radar. And again, it's that area right there where the Weather Service is a little bit concerned that there could be a possible tornado there. Now, again, this is not a confirmed tornado. Nobody has actually seen this, but this is a radar indicated rotation. And we actually can't show the lightning strikes. There are just so many lightning strikes. We just cannot show that. As a matter of fact, let me put the lightning on here. You can see that there are so many lightning strikes that are associated with this. These storms are hot today when it comes to their lightning output. This is a live lightning count, 206 strikes. This is a 10-minute interval. Our radar system does 10 minutes of the lightning data. That is intense. So 210 strikes over the past 10 minutes. Lots of lightning, and these are cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. These are not cloud-to-cloud. These are cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. 208. I mean, that is insane. So again, that is our tornado warning. Let me put the velocity data back on here just to show you the rotation. Once again, it is going to be right here. And again, this is the Doppler level 2 velocity right there. That's going to be the area of concern right there that the Weather Service is looking at. So what we're doing is we are checking the comments very quickly. And again, the thing with this is if you are in this tornado warning, I'm actually going to back this out a little bit just to kind of show you what we're looking at here. This is a tornado warning that also extends, this is a tornado warning that also extends out into Cattaraugus County. And this does include the city of Randolph. So if you are in Randolph, you need to be in a safe place right now. That is a small room on the lowest floor near the center, away from windows. And there we go. Let's do that. So again, this is the whole polygon right here. So again, that is the actual tornado warning for the whole polygon. So again, you can see it extends from basically the western part of the city of Jamestown over Chautauqua Lake. The storm is actually over here now. So these storms are kind of moving through here. Basically, Cat County, I-86 eastbound. So if you're on I-86 heading to the east out into Cat County, you need to pull off and you need to go into a safe place, whether that be a gas station, a convenience store, a restaurant, anything that'll take you. Put your mask on, go in and wait out the storm right there. You do not want to be in a car. You also don't want to be in a mobile home. We know that once you get outside of the city of Jamestown, it starts to get very rural. This is one of the problems we have about our area is we have a lot of rural area here, which is great. But the problem is when you get away from the city, a lot of people away from the city live away from the city. They live in mobile homes or trailer parks, and you cannot stay in those during a tornado warning. They're not safe, so you have to exit and find more substantial shelter. This is our storm in question right here. It is basically near I-86, basically to the north of I-86. This is going to be crossing over into Cattaraugus County very shortly. This is going to be coming up near Randolph. So again, if you're in Cat County, anywhere near Randolph right now, you need to go ahead and go to your safe place. A small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. And again, if you've got a basement, get down in it. That works best. If not, just be on the lowest floor near the center. Put as many walls, just make sure you're in like a hall closet, a bathroom, something that's interior, away from windows. Have the ID on you and you'll be okay, and we will get through this. So again, that's our area of concern right here. Let me put the reflectivity data back on here. And just to show you that the storm in question is currently right here. And same thing that we looked at before, that is not looking as maybe as intense as it once did, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes ago. But this is the storm in question right here. Notice this little kidney bean shape back here, this little hook right back here. This is called an inflow notch. This is where the winds are coming back into the storm. So it's going to be right here. If there's a tornado there, it's going to be right in here. So again, if you are coming up, this is basically north of Frewsburg. So if you are basically north of if you're north of downtown, near the airport, east of the airport, which if you've lived here for a long time, you know where that is. It's up on Airport Hill. It's just to the north of the city, actually in the town of Ellicott is where that airport actually sits. But it's basically east of there, coming up into the county line here. Cherry Creek is right here. So it's going to be south of Cherry Creek, coming down like this, moving to the east. So that is our tornado warning. And again, this is the reason we are here. We have a tornado warning that is in effect for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties, and it is for this storm in question right here. And then again, the rotation signature on this storm at times has shown that there could be, or the storm has shown signs of rotation at times along with this as well. I want to check in with the comments very quickly here while we have a quick minute while we're waiting for the next radar scan to come in. And I'm also checking the Weather Service chat as well. And again, if you're new to us here, we know that doing weather coverage, we get a lot of people who tend to join us who don't normally join us. So please welcome. We do a live newscast every weekday at noon right here on, that's of course right here on Facebook Live, our 24/7 streaming network, which can be viewed on our app as well. You can go to the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store to download our app. It's free, and you can watch us there live as well. And so we hope you stick around for the news at noon tomorrow, and we'll all be here. And but again, getting back to the issue at hand here, this is the tornado warning that is in effect here for portions of Chautauqua County and also Cattaraugus County as well. And I want to go back and I want to take a look at the velocity data on this storm very quickly. And if I can just give one word of tech advice, never run a beta operating system on a primary machine. That is my little word of advice to you. And yeah, just don't do that. My MacBook Pro is running the beta of macOS Big Sur, and yeah. But anyway, getting back to the issue at hand here, this is our storm in question right here. So again, you can see Frewsburg is right here. You are not in this tornado warning, and this storm is going to be moving into Randolph and going into Cattaraugus County in just a minute here. So let's go back to the velocity data here, and what the Weather Service is looking at, why this warning was issued, was this little spot that you see right there. That red and green spot right here is that area of where there's a possible tornado going on right here. And again, we want to stress, nobody has reported a tornado down with this. Somebody, a trained spotter, has reported there was a funnel cloud, rotating funnel cloud associated with this when it was near Bemis Point. It was east of Bemis Point, and there was a rotating wall cloud associated with that. And so the Weather Service originally issued a severe thunderstorm warning, and then now that is a tornado warning, as this rotation has actually strengthened a little bit. It strengthened a little bit, hence the reason why they issued the tornado warning. But that is going to be in effect until about 6:45 this afternoon. How long have we been here? Way too long. But I don't know. I don't even know if it's the same day we started with this. I don't know. We've been here for a long time today. But let's go back to the reflectivity data, and we'll take a look at the storm, what it looks like on reflectivity. Now, please keep in mind, reflectivity is what you normally see when you look at radar. This is what you normally see when you look at a radar image. This is reflectivity. This is the energy of the raindrops bouncing off the radar beam. That's what this is. This is called reflectivity, and this doesn't always show a good picture when we're looking for a possible tornado, but you can see the signature right in here. This is what they're looking at. Again, it does not look as well defined as it once did. This storm could be starting to weaken a little bit, but it's going to be right here south of Cherry Creek, close to the Chautauqua-Cattaraugus County line, basically north of I-86 coming into Randolph. So the main section of the storm looks like it's gonna pass to the north of Randolph, but if you're in Randolph, I would be in a safe place no matter what. I mean, don't fool around with this. And again, you know, I know that around here, we don't get very many tornadoes here and all the old wives' tales and whatnot. Just forget that. Just be in a safe place. You respect the warnings. You respect the polygon. That's what you do here. And as long as this tornado warning is active, you need to respect it and go to a safe place. Don't fool around with this. Don't. I mean, I know a lot of people don't take weather seriously, but you need to take this seriously. I mean, I assure you, the Weather Service does not issue these warnings just to push that button, just to get us on the air because we like to hear ourselves talk. They don't do that. They issue this because they feel that there is a high possibility that a tornado could be here. They've trimmed the warning back on the newest update. That's why the polygon shifted. Basically, what they do is that, at the Weather Service, what they do is that as the storm continues to move, they will adjust the polygons accordingly to storm motion. So they basically trimmed out that far western section. So Jamestown, all the way back to the west, you're clear out of the tornado warning. You're no longer in it. It is basically now for this small section of Chautauqua County here going on I-86 eastbound and then going into Randolph. That is where this warning now is. So again, if you are north of Randolph, if you're in Randolph, if you have a Randolph mailing address, if you're north of the city of Randolph, basically south of Randolph here going down near the county line, you need to be in a safe place as well. Again, that is a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. If you are driving on I-86 or any of the highways that's going in or out of Chautauqua or Cattaraugus counties, you need to pull off, go into a gas station, a restaurant, a store, a convenience store, whatever you can find, get in there and just wait out the storm right there. Obviously, put your mask on, obviously. We know this by now. Put your mask on, go in there, wait out the storm. I know it's going to get you home a little bit later. I know a lot of people are trying to get home from work at 6 o'clock. You know, a lot of people want to go home, you know, have dinner and spend time with your family, but don't mess with this. Just pull off. You'll be a little bit late, but it's being better. But you know, it's better being safe than sorry here. And you don't want to be in a car either. And also, when you're in your safe place, make sure you have a readiness kit of things. This is something I don't think anybody in the weather enterprise does a good job explaining, and that's our fault, is that we need to communicate to you that you need to have a readiness kit of things. You need to have a helmet for everybody. I know it sounds silly, especially if you're elderly. I mean, you know, putting on a helmet doesn't make a lot of sense, but it will save you life. There have been peer-reviewed studies that prove that if you wear a helmet and you get injured and if you take a direct hit from a tornado, you will survive. A lot of the issues, or should I say, a lot of the injuries to people who have been hit by a tornado is to the skull region. So if you wear a helmet, that greatly increases your chances of survival. That's for kids and adults. That's for everybody. Make sure you have hard sole shoes, not tennis shoes, but hard sole shoes in case you have to walk over tornado debris. Have a whistle or an air horn with you in case if you need help and you're unable to vocalize your need for help. First responders have been trained to listen for that. And also make sure you have your ID on you. We'll get through this just fine, okay? So this is our tornado warning right here. It is basically for this small section of Chautauqua County going into western Cattaraugus County, which includes Randolph right here, going eastbound on I-86. So this is our tornado warning. That's our storm in question right there. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to get back down into the Weather Service chat room and see what is going on with this. And again, if you're new to us here, one of the things that we like to stress here a lot is that we do have the ability to talk directly with the with three National Weather Service offices, with the Weather Service in Buffalo, State College, and Cleveland. And we're in a series of IM conferences between the Weather Service and us here internally, so we can communicate internally. Storm report coming in from the Weather Service. A barn is destroyed, trees uprooted, and damage to a house and shop lift removed. What is a shoplift? Anybody know what that is? What's a shoplift? I don't know. But that's what the storm report says. Barn destroyed, trees uprooted, damage to a house, and a shoplift removed. That is coming from 2 miles west of Dean in Chautauqua County. So that is likely going to be near Bemis Point back when the storm first got going. So now we apparently have some damage associated with this storm. We don't know if it was a tornado or not. We don't play that game here. I mean, some people will tell you this is an EF, whatever. We don't do that. We don't know the rating of a tornado until the storm surveys are done. We don't know that data. We just can't look at a radar image and go, well, that's an EF3 or whatever. We can't do that. I mean, at least that's not responsible. We don't do that here. So we don't know if that damage was done by a tornado or straight line winds. The Weather Service will figure it out. They'll send out and of course, they'll send out storm survey teams tomorrow if necessary. They'll send them out tomorrow morning and see what's going on here. But again, this is our storm in question. It's really weakened off in the latest couple of radar scans. As a matter of fact, the Weather Service is telling us that the storm is actually starting to re-strengthen again in the lowest levels, but the rotation aloft is weakening. So looks like we have a battle here going on between the lowest and the highest levels of the atmosphere here. So in the lowest radar scans, the overall rotation does not look impressive. And we'll put the velocity data back on here. Hello. And there we go. And let's do that. Well, I think it's going to show up better using Doppler velocity. So this is the storm in question that we're looking at. That is right in here. And again, that is that area of rotation that has prompted the Weather Service to issue this warning. And again, it's kind of hard to see here, but and again, this is that small spot. And quite frankly, this is looking at the lowest level. This is 0.3 degrees. That's the lowest scan that the Buffalo National Weather Service radar does, 0.3 degrees. And this is the lowest scan. And quite frankly, looking at that, that's not a very intense circulation here. But the Weather Service is also telling us that the overall atmospheric environment is still favorable for what's called a mesocyclone. Now we're pegging the geek meter with this stuff. Basically, a mesocyclone, you need to have a mesocyclone before you can have a tornado. A tornado comes out of a mesocyclone. And a mesocyclone is basically rotation that is going on in the upper layers of the thunderstorm. That is called a mesocyclone. A tornado happens down low. The mesocyclone happens up high. So you need to have a mesocyclone before you can have a tornado. It drops out of the mesocyclone. So there's your Peg the Geek Meter segment for today. But again, there it is right there. It's a small area of rotation, not looking as well defined as it once did, but the tornado warning is going to stay in place until 6:30. I'm sorry, it expires at 6:30, not 6:45. It is 6:30 when this will expire. So this will expire in about another 8 minutes. So let's go back to the reflectivity data and show you what's going on here. This storm is crossing over into Cattaraugus County right now over I-86. There it is right there. And just to show you that these storms are strong, look at the lightning output associated with this. That is a real-time lightning count over the past 10 minutes, 314 strikes. That is a 10-minute interval between a 25-mile radius. 300 lightning strikes. That is powerful. And that is a strong thunderstorm right there when you see the lightning output like that. So again, all these lightning strikes, this is real-time lightning data. And again, this is something cool we have on First Defense Doppler. We're the only ones basically in the southern tier to have this. And this is our lightning detection. And you can see that storm is now crossing over into Cattaraugus County, basically north of Randolph. So even though the storm is moving north of Randolph, if you're in Randolph, I want you in a safe place. And I mean now. I mean, you don't want to mess around with this. So, I mean, even though the storm is weakening, it looks like it's weakening. As long as this warning is in place, you respect the warning and go to a safe place. Interior hall closets or bathrooms where there's no outside walls, stay away from windows. I know a lot of people want to go outside and take a peek and see what it don't. Do not try to get a video of this thing. Don't go out and look for it. Don't do that, okay? Your life is too important for that. Just go to a safe place. We will tell you everything we know, okay? So just don't go out and try to look at this thing. And the one thing we also want to encourage too, don't go out and storm chase. I know a lot of people see the stuff on TV about going off and storm chasing. Don't do that. Unless you have the proper training, you can get into trouble in a real quick hurry. And that is why only people like our Sean Sweatman, who does a lot of our storm chasing for us here, he has been trained for a long time. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he is not going to put himself in danger. He's not going to put anybody else in danger. And I mean, you really need to understand storm structure, and you really need to understand what you're doing to go out and storm chase. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can get in trouble in a real quick hurry, and your life is too important to go out and try to capture some video of a tornado and try to get some Google AdSense money on YouTube. Your life is not worth that, and nobody else's life is worth that either. So please don't do that. So here we go. This is the storm crossing over into Cattaraugus County north of Randolph. Once again, if you're in Randolph, I want you in a safe place. I mean, even though that storm does not look as intense as it once did, again, the warning is still active. So as long as the warning is active, you need to be in a safe place. And again, the storm does look like it's weakening. You can notice that the rotation signature has gotten a little bit broader now on the newest scan here. But again, there's a chance this could not be on the ground. Now, again, we don't know if there was a tornado on the ground with this. It's been a radar indicated possibility, but you don't want to mess around with this. So if you are in Randolph, north of Randolph, if you have a Randolph mailing address, you need to be in a safe place, in your safe place right now. And it's this spot right here. And quite frankly, looking at this, it doesn't look as intense as it once did. This might have weakened off, but it doesn't matter. As long as the warning is there, you just want to be in a safe place. The warning will likely expire in 5 minutes. We have not heard anything about a reissuance from the Weather Service right now. And again, if you have any pictures or video that you've been able to capture safely, you can give us a call, or not give us a call, but you can give us a ring-a-ding on Facebook and Twitter. You can post it up on Twitter. This is, I'm not sure who, is this Sean? Okay, so this is Sean Sweatman, right? Okay, so this is Sean Sweatman, who I just talked about. He's in the Storm Interceptor, and he is on I-86. He's almost to Randolph right now. He's heading to Randolph to catch up with that storm that's coming into Randolph right now. And so again, you can see how the clouds are low in the sky, and again, there's rain there. And again, that tornado warning is going to stay in place for about 5 more minutes until 6:30. And we are watching eagerly to see if the Weather Service is going to reissue on what they're going to do. And again, the same thing I was talking about before. If you have any pictures or videos that you've been able to capture safely, please send it to us on our Facebook page. You can send it to the First Defense Weather page here on Facebook, and also my Twitter feed. I'm at HuntersWX, HUNTERSWX on Twitter. Make sure you use the hashtag MyLocalWX. And that is how we know what's going on, because you guys are our eyes to the window, our eyes to the world. You guys show us what's happening out there. So if you've been able to get some pictures or videos safely, please send us in those pictures or videos, because they're really helpful. So again, this is the storm in question right here north of Randolph. And again, it's not as intense as it once was. And again, in the other box, you're looking at Sean Sweatman, who is in the Storm Interceptor. He is almost to Randolph right now to try to intercept the storm as it comes in, to see what he can see. And again, notice the low-lying clouds right there. And again, that could be a wall cloud, but that is something that we're going to keep an eye on. And again, Sean's stream, and again, it goes back to what I just told you. Sean has been trained for a long time. He knows what he's doing. Sean has a lot of equipment on board his truck. If you've never seen his Storm Chase vehicle, he's got a lot of equipment on board that thing. He knows what he's doing. He's got the same single site radar products we have here in the office. And so this is that area of concern right there. And we just got a report that Sean is in Randolph right now. So you can see he's in Randolph right now, and he's going to be close to intercepting the storm as it moves on to the north. So as of right now, this tornado warning is going to expire hopefully in 2 minutes here. We are still waiting to see if we're going to get a reissuance or what the Weather Service will do with this. But again, it does not look as intense as it once did. Let me put the reflectivity on here, and yeah, again, the reflectivity still looks a little ominous. It is this part of the storm right here that is a little bit questionable what's going on right here. And again, where you see that inflow notch and that little hook right back in there, that could be the area where the possible rotation is. Now again, we don't know if there has been a tornado on the ground. We have reports of damage that occurred back on the western end of this back when it first started near Bemis Point. But again, we don't know if that was straight line wind damage. We don't know if that was tornado damage. We don't play that game here, but we don't know what kind of damage it was. We just know it was damage related to this particular storm. But again, this is the storm here. It is close to Randolph right now. So if you are in, wow, look at that cloud to ground lightning strike. Woo, man. I mean, those storms are hot today. And that was a nice cloud to ground lightning strike Sean just captured there. And again, notice the lowering right there. I don't know if we can take Sean's live stream full screen. I don't know if we have the ability to do that, but if we have the ability to do that, that would be great, because Sean basically has a good vantage point. He's looking to the north from Randolph, looking into this. And again, you can see there's a little bit of low-lying clouds right there. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on. But as of right now, the tornado warning has been, it's expired, it's off the board. We're going to wait here for just a couple of minutes to see what the Weather Service is going to do with this. My humble opinion, they're likely not going to extend this simply because the rotation has gotten kind of broad, but we'll see what they do with this. Sometimes they will do a reissuance if they think the storm is cycling, where it could re-strengthen once again. Let me bring up the velocity data one more time here. And it's this spot right here that is basically sitting on top of Randolph right here. That is sitting north of I-86 near Randolph. That's that spot. And again, if you watched us just a few minutes ago, that thing was tight. And now it's gotten a little bit broader, so there's a chance the storm has weakened. But we'll see what the Weather Service will do with this, if they will reissue this downstream or if that they're going to just let this ride. As of right now, we have no reissuance coming from the Weather Service, but we'll see what they do with this. Now, normally as these storms move, they ultimately do kind of weaken off a little bit as they move into the less favorable air, which is further out to the east. So again, this right here is the thunderstorm in question, where there could be some type of rotation going on right here. But again, it's broad. And right now we don't see anything regarding a reissuance coming from the Weather Service on this particular storm. And again, if you have, and again, once again, if you have any pictures or videos of the weather that you've been able to take safely, you can feel free to send it to us right here on our Facebook page. You can also send it to the First Defense Weather page on Facebook, and also on Twitter. I'm at HuntersWX, HUNTERSWX on Twitter, and make sure that you use the hashtag MyLocalWX. And that is how we get the pictures from you guys, and that's how you show us what's happening in your neck of the woods. So we're going to do a quick wide shot here and show you what's going on. That is the only warning we have been dealing with so far. And that was the tornado warning. It expired, and we'll see what the Weather Service will do with this. Now, there is a small, I should mention, small part of Cattaraugus County under a severe thunderstorm warning. This flashing polygon right here basically includes areas just to the south of Springville going up into Erie County. That is for a storm that is moving east. That's going to ultimately go into Allegheny and Wyoming counties here in just a couple of minutes. But in terms of the southern tier, that is it. That is the only little thing right here. In fact, I'll put the reflectivity on that just to show you that, just in case if you're up in that section of Cattaraugus County, just to show you what's going on with that. This is the storm in question here, and it looks like they've reissued. They've reissued the tornado warning until 7 o'clock. So we're going to stay on the air until at least 7 o'clock now, since the warning has been extended. But this is the severe thunderstorm warning up here for Cattaraugus County, east of Springville, going out to Arcade. That's the severe thunderstorm warning there. Tornado warning reissued for portions of Cattaraugus County until 7 o'clock. Let's go down and take a look at that. And sometimes they surprise us here sometimes. Again, I talked about how I was not expecting them to reissue this, but here we are. This is a new tornado warning that is in effect until 7 o'clock for portions of Cattaraugus County, Randolph, Little Valley, Salamanca, I-86 eastbound. So again, if you're in Randolph, you need to stay in your safe place right now. Small room, lowest floor near the center, away from windows. I-86 eastbound going up to Little Valley, Salamanca. If you're anywhere near those communities, you need to be in a safe place right now. That is a small room on the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. And again, this warning will go until 7 o'clock tonight. And these storms are moving mainly to the east today at about 20 to 40 miles per hour. That's been our main storm motion today. So again, the Weather Service has reissued the tornado warning for Cattaraugus County, and it will now expire at 7 o'clock. That is the new expiration time for that storm you see right there back behind me. And again, I talked about how the storm looked like it might have been weakening a little bit, but the Weather Service believes that there's enough information there to extend the warning. So new tornado warning until 7 o'clock. It is basically an extension of the tornado warning that was in effect earlier. And it's that little pendulum you see right there swinging down near Randolph. That's the area right there where there is a little bit of concern, where there could be a tornado associated with that particular storm. And again, the same thing that we talked about earlier, these storms all day have been showing signs of some rotation, at least some light rotation anyway. And the Weather Service has opted to reissue this tornado warning until 7 o'clock. I'm going to hop back into the office and show you the velocity data here very quickly and show you what we're looking at here. And again, it is this storm that is sitting basically right on top of Randolph right now. This storm has had a history of at least producing some type of damage. We don't know if it was tornado damage or straight line wind damage. Doesn't matter at this point. But this is the rotation right here sitting basically on top of Randolph. So if you are in Randolph, you need to be in a safe place right now. I cannot stress that anymore. You need to be in a safe place right now. That is a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. If you have a basement, great. Get in that. That works best. If not, just go into a small interior room where there's no outside walls or windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can, interior walls, and just wait the storm out right there. If you're on I-86, excuse me, if you're on I-86, heading eastbound or westbound coming out of Cattaraugus County, we advise nobody to be driving right now. Nobody in this tornado warning from Randolph all the way out to basically almost Olean. You do not need to be on the road right now. You just need to pull off. Sometimes we don't need to be nice. We just need to tell you to get off the road. Sometimes we don't need to be nice about it. So if you are on I-86 or any of the highways that go in and out of Cattaraugus County, you need to pull off right now, go into some type of a site-built structure, whether that be a gas station, a restaurant, a convenience store, a Walmart, or whatever. Just go in there and just wait out the storm right there. Put your mask on, obviously, and go in there and wait out the storm. And again, if you are in a mobile home, you need to leave and go into a more substantial shelter. And again, everybody who lives in a mobile home needs to have a tornado preparedness plan. And hopefully you had that plan ready to go and you are implementing that plan now. So it looks like we could be dealing with some areas of large hail right here north, where you see this purple area where that black color is. That is the highest reflectivity value on our radar system. When you see that black hole like that, that's the highest reflectivity color. So this is likely going to be a hail core right in through here. But the chance of the tornado is going to be right here. Notice that little comma head right there. Notice how it's starting to look like it's starting to curve back up in itself once again. So again, it is this storm near Randolph going to the east on I-86. So if you are on I-86, like I just said, you need to pull off, go to a gas station or a restaurant or something and just wait out the storm right there. In the other box, you're looking at Sean Sweatman. He is in the storm interceptor. He is currently going east, I believe, in Randolph. He's going to be trying to intercept this storm. And getting some reports here that there could have been a possible tornado near Randolph. Somebody's got a picture and a video of it. They're going to be posting it pretty soon. This is coming from one of the other media outlets who is in the National Weather Service chat with us. And there could very well be a tornado on the ground with this storm. This storm has shown signs of rotation. It has started to, and again, when you see this, this is starting to get very suspicious. And again, when you start seeing a hail core like that with a storm that looks like this is kind of ominous. So again, you need to treat this as if there is a tornado on the ground. We don't know if there is one on the ground. We haven't had no official confirmation that there is one on the ground, but you need to treat this like there is one there. So this storm is basically on top of Randolph. It is heading to the east. So as it moves to the east, this thing is going to be basically impacting portions of Salamanca, going out to almost Olean. So if you're out in that area, you need to be in a safe place right now. Let's take a look at velocity one more time and show you the rotation that we have going on in here. And again, it is going to be right in here. This area that is right here east of Randolph, that is going to be our, and again, that looks a little bit tighter on the newest radar scan than it did. So this area right here could very well be where we have a tornado down. And again, we don't know if there is a tornado. As a matter of fact, one of the products that we have is called correlation coefficient. And this is kind of a peg the geek meter thing, but the way that this works is correlation coefficient determines it basically looks at all the radar echoes in a bin. We call this our debris detection. And what it does is it looks at all of the returned echoes that come from the radar in a bin, and it tries to determine if there's something different about the returned echoes. And we look for a negative value near the rotation to see if there's some sort of debris. We're not seeing really anything here that would indicate we might have a tornado down. And again, the thing with the CC product is we can't use it for warning. We use it for confirmation that something is there. And this is kind of a whole lot of noise. And again, if there was a debris signature, it'd likely be right around in here. And it's just looking a little too noisy. So that is the debris detection. Let's go back to velocity, because velocity shows you the better story in what we're actually looking at. Again, velocity measures the wind pattern. One of the cool things we got with Doppler radar back in the 1990s. I know Doppler radar has been around since the 90s. It's hard to believe, but one of the cool things we got with Doppler radar was the ability to see how the water droplets were moving relative to the radar, either towards the radar or away from the radar. And that is what velocity shows us. It shows us that velocity of how the water droplets are moving. So the green is inbound, the red is outbound. So when you see the two coming together, that indicates that the storm is rotating, and it's got some evidence of rotation within it. And again, this storm has had a history of producing damage back along the western section near Bemis Point when the warning was first issued. Again, we don't know if that was tornado damage, if that was straight line wind damage. We don't know that, but just know that this storm has had a history of producing damage. This is the strongest rotation we have seen likely all day today, and it is going to be right in here. If there's any tornado, it's going to be right here east of Randolph, heading out to the east. Now, if you're in Randolph, you need to be in a safe place. And I mean now. You cannot wait. I mean, if you are anywhere out to the east near Randolph in Cattaraugus County, here comes the new radar sweep now, and you need to be in a safe place. Anywhere in this polygon, you need to be in a safe place right now. And again, that's the reflectivity. This is what you normally see when you look at radar. This is the reflectivity on this storm right here. And again, notice that kidney bean shape right there. That is the possible tornado that we're looking at right here. And we now have a flash flood warning that is in effect. So I'm going to expand this out just a second here just to kind of show you this. We now have flash flood warning for portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. We're going to have 2 red polygons up here, but it is this lighter red polygon, this maroon colored polygon. That's the actual color of it. It's maroon. It is right here. So this maroon polygon, if we can take me and the radar full screen, that would be great. But it is this right here, this lighter red polygon. That is the flash flood warning. That is, thank you very much. It is this polygon right here. That is a flash flood warning for portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. These storms have been producing torrential rainfall. And again, the same thing we talked about earlier today, these storms have almost near tropical downpours. So if you get a downpour, it is going to rain like cats and dogs, basically, if you get a downpour today. The brighter red polygon, that is the tornado warning that is in effect. So this polygon right here is the flash flood warning. This polygon here is the tornado warning. So it's kind of confusing. There's 2 red, there's 2 red polygons, but this is the official color table from the National Weather Service. So this is the color table that we use. So it is what it is. But that's the flash flood warning right here. And that's the tornado warning. So this is why we're here. Now this batch of storms right here coming through here, not severe. There's going to be heavy downpours, probably frequent lightning. I'm going to put the lightning data back on here. And same thing I told you, the lightning, there's so much lightning, we are not going to be able to keep the lightning layer on because there are just hundreds and hundreds of ground strokes. 600, wow, look at this. 610 lightning strikes from all of this. This is a 10-minute interval, by the way. First Defense Doppler does 10-minute lightning interval. That's over the past 10 minutes. 600 lightning strikes. Man, these storms are hot. And so that's why we can't put the lightning on. There's just hundreds and hundreds of ground strokes. So that's why we just cannot show you the lightning. But there's going to be a lot of lightning with these line of storms coming through the central and southern portion of Chautauqua County and then going into Cattaraugus County. So this is the reason we are here. We have a tornado warning that is in effect for portions of Cattaraugus County until 7 o'clock. This storm right here that is east of Randolph now is going to be moving towards Salamanca and then almost out to Olean. The warning does not include Olean, but it includes Little Valley, Randolph, Salamanca, Ellicottville, the southernmost part of Ellicottville. Of course, nobody's going to be out at Holiday Valley, of course, now since we're in summer. But if you're close to Holiday Valley, I would suggest you be in a safe place. Even though the storm is likely going to pass just a little bit to your south, I would still be in a safe place. If you're near Holiday Valley, you need to be in a safe place there. The severe thunderstorm warning that we had for the northern part of Cattaraugus County, the Weather Service canceled that. So that's no more. So we're basically just down to these 2 warnings. This flash flood warning, which again is for heavy rainfall. And again, these storms, as I told you, these storms are producing near tropical rainfall rates today. So if you are underneath one of these things, it's going to rain like crazy because of just how much moisture there is in the air. But this is the reason we're here. This is a tornado warning in effect for portions of Cattaraugus County, the far southwestern portion of Cattaraugus County until 7 o'clock. That's for about the next 14 minutes. Let's put the velocity data back on here and show you what the Weather Service is looking at. And again, it is going to be this area of rotation right about in here that is near 394 and I-86. This is the interchange where I-86 and State 394 intersect right here. This is where this possible tornado is, right here where you see this rotation couplet. That is the possible tornado, and it's moving like this out to the east. So basically, East Randolph, if you're in the city of Randolph, downtown Randolph, and near downtown Randolph, near the school complex there in Randolph, you're likely cleared from this, but I just want to give you a couple more minutes until this storm moves out further to the east to be safe here. But if you're out to near the East Randolph area, going further out on I-86, you need to be in a safe place right now. I mean, this is the most intense signature we've seen all day. And again, there's no doubt that there could possibly be some type of tornado here. And again, we don't know the size of this thing. We don't play that game of if this is an EF something. We don't know the rating until the Weather Service goes down and they actually do the storm surveys. That's when we get the ratings. You can't base a tornado off a radar image. You can't do that. You have to look at the damage and the radar in order to figure out what the rating is. You can't just use one or the other. You have to use both. So again, this is a possible tornado right here that is east of Randolph. New radar scan coming in now, and it's moving like this, moving out to the east. So Salamanca, this is going to be the next big community impacted here. So if you are in Salamanca, close to Salamanca, if you happen to be at the casino in Salamanca, I'm sure the casino probably has some sort of a tornado drill that they probably do. They probably have some sort of a tornado plan in place. If they have that, I would highly suggest, if that they're watching this right now, if they're watching us, I would highly suggest they put their tornado plan in place right now if they haven't already, because this could very well be a tornado right here east of Randolph, moving like this. And this is going to come up close to Salamanca. So if you are living anywhere near Salamanca, if you know anyone who lives in this portion of Cattaraugus County near Salamanca, you need to, if they don't know this is going on, you need to call them and let them know that there's a possible tornado coming up on them and they need to be in a safe place. Again, the safe place is, I keep saying it, small room, a hall, a closet, a bathroom, lowest floor. If you've got an up and a down, don't go up, you go down. Near the center, put as many walls as between you and the outside as you can, and away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. If you're in a mobile home or a trailer park, you need to exit that immediately and find more substantial structure. Anybody who lives in a mobile home or a trailer park, you all should have a tornado plan in place, and you should be executing that plan right now. And again, the time to think about this is not on a day like today. The time to think about this is on a day like yesterday when we had a lot of sunshine. That's the day when you need to think about, that's the day when you need to start thinking about this stuff. So again, this is the possible tornado right here, east of Randolph, heading eastward into Salamanca. I've been keeping my eyes on the Weather Service chat, and nothing so far, but we have been looking at everything to see what the Weather Service will do with this here. Again, nothing so far from the Weather Service about any confirmed tornado. And again, there has been a report of damage from this particular storm back when it came through Bemis Point. Again, this storm originated near Bemis Point. And originally there was a severe thunderstorm warning issued for this, and then they upgraded to a tornado warning. As a matter of fact, I'll show you that on the radar. We can put this in a loop for you and kind of show you what happened here over the past 30 minutes or so. So we will go and do this, and we will do that. And when this data pops in here, we'll put this in a loop, and you'll see that the warnings will pop up in real time along with the radar data. And as this comes in here, hopefully it will load. What you'll see here is this storm kind of originated back here, and then it moved out to the east. There it goes. And the radar computer's been pushed to the limits today. So, it's being like, can we get it over with so I can rest for tonight? But you can see that was the original warning they issued right there. And then watch the warning pop up right in here. And then you'll see the tornado warning pop up there. But again, this was a storm that originated near Bemis Point. And it was moving out to the east. And they have opted to issue the tornado warning for that. So there is now a new severe thunderstorm warning, which will include Olean. And this is for the southern section of Cattaraugus County. And this will include portions of Cattaraugus County. Yes?
Dakota, Mitch Bellinger is a storm chaser.
Yes. Okay, so according to our producer, we have video from a storm chaser of possible rotation that is near Salamanca, and we're getting that potted up right now in the control room. But again, this is the new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for the southern branch of this storm, which includes Limestone and Olean going out. That's basically going out into Allegheny County. This is for the southern branch of the storms. And this is video that is coming from Mitch Bellinger, who is a trained storm chaser, or is this still Sean Sweatman? I think this is, okay. That's Mitch Bellinger. So what we have right here, this is a trained storm spotter, Mitch. And he's been trained for a long time as well. I actually know Mitch, and he has been trained for a long time, and he is showing what could possibly be that area of what could be a tornado coming up into Salamanca. And so we're going to keep our eyes on this. And again, I see people driving. That's very discouraging. Please pull off the road. Sometimes we don't have to be nice, just get off the road. If there's a tornado warning, you need to pull off and get to a more substantial shelter. And again, Mitch here has been trained for, I think, almost the same amount of time as Sean has been trained. He's been trained for a long time. And again, Sean and Mitch know what they're doing. They're not going to put themselves in danger or anybody else in danger. They're going to get on the southwestern end of the storm and try to look back into it. So what you see right here is coming from Mitch Bellinger of a possible, what could be the possible tornado that is coming up near Salamanca. It's going to be right in here. That is near Salamanca. I'll zoom in a little closer for you so you can see that, and I'll put the reflect the velocity data back on here to show you what's happening here. And it is going to be this little spot that you see right here is going to be the cause for concern. And again, this storm has produced damage. We don't know the extent, but we know it has produced damage. This area right here of where there is rotation, this is coming up on I-86 eastbound in Salamanca. It is close to Salamanca. So this is basically going to be the final call for Salamanca. If you live in Salamanca, if you have a Salamanca mailing address, if you live anywhere close to Salamanca right now, you need to be in a safe place. That is a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars, no vehicles. If you're traveling anywhere on I-86, on any of the state roads in or out of Cattaraugus County, you need to get out of that. Basically, you need to pull off, go to a more substantial shelter, whether that be a gas station, a convenience store, a restaurant, a Walmart, whatever it is. Just pull off, put your mask on, and go inside and wait the storm out. I know a lot of people want to get home. It's almost 7 o'clock. People want to get home, have dinner. I'm telling you, it's better to be safe than sorry with this thing. So this is the possible tornado right here. I believe that's coming from Sean Sweatman. I believe that video is, or that might still be Mitch. But I mean, we've got so many video feeds going on today. But again, this is the possible tornado right here coming up into Salamanca. Now, this tornado warning is going to continue until about 7 o'clock. We've just got the thing that they're going to continue it until 7 o'clock. At 6:52, a severe thunderstorm was capable of producing a tornado located near Salamanca, moving east at 25. So it is this area right here that is coming up near Salamanca. So final call for Salamanca. You've got to be in a safe place. You've got to be in a safe place. Okay? Don't mess around with this. I know we don't get a lot of tornadoes here. There's a lot of wives' tales about hills and all that stuff. Forget that. Just throw it out the window. Just forget that. Get into a safe place right now if you're not in there. I mean, earlier today, somebody was in their bathtub. That's a great place to be. If your bathroom is interior where there's no outside walls or windows, grab the family, all hunker down in the bathtub. That's a great place to be. I mean, that's a wonderful place to be. So get in the bathtub, just wait it out there. If you got a basement, go down in there. I know some people around here might have storm shelters. Get in those, or just go to the small interior room on the lowest floor near the center, away from windows, and just wait this thing out. Again, this is our possible tornado right here coming up near Salamanca, and I'll put the reflectivity back on. Just to show you what it looks like here. Again, that is velocity. That is basically showing you wind movement within the storm. This is reflectivity. This is what you normally see when you look at radar. This is the energy of the water droplets bouncing back on the radar beam. So this is what you normally see when you look at radar. It's going to be this right here. Notice that little inflow notch right there and that little kidney bean shape right there. This could be the area where we might have a tornado. And again, we don't know if there is a tornado down with this. We don't know that, but this storm has produced known damage back around Bemis Point back when this storm first got going. So we don't know if there's a tornado on the ground, though. We have no official confirmation. But again, what you are looking at is two of our storm chasers who are out in Cattaraugus County right now, who are trying to intercept this storm to see if we can see anything, excuse me, in terms of a wall cloud or a funnel cloud or maybe even a tornado, if we happen to see something. The other problem we're going to be contending with, it's almost coming up on 7 o'clock. We're starting to lose the daylight, so this is going to become a problem. So anybody who's ever done storm chasing knows that, you know, trying to storm chase at night is a challenge because you have to wait on lightning flashes to illuminate things in order to see what you're looking at. But we've still got a little bit of daylight left, so that's helping us here. But again, this is the storm in question here. I would assume, since we're coming up on 7 o'clock, the Weather Service is probably going to extend this. So I would stand by for probably another extension. So control room, stand by. They may extend this because we're coming up on 7 o'clock. So we'll see what they'll do with this. Again, they might extend this. They might let it go. But again, given the fact that it's still looking ominous and based on the history of this, they might extend they might opt to extend this. So we'll see what they do with it. But right now, this is coming up near Salamanca. And again, I'll just put the lightning on just to show you that these storms have been hot today in terms of their lightning output. That is a 10-minute interval, 10 minutes worth of lightning, 309 strikes over the past 10 minutes. That is how much lightning these storms are producing today. So that is the reason why we can't put the lightning data on there. There's just hundreds and hundreds of ground strokes. We just cannot show that because it just covers up the radar imagery. So what you're looking at right here is the possible tornado. This warning is set to expire in 1 minute. But as I said, this will likely be extended. I would stand by for a potential extension. They might reissue. Again, given the history that this storm has done, this is the area of rotation that they're looking at right here. And again, all of our storm spotters and chasers who are out there are looking at this. And this is the area right here that they're looking at right here. So again, we're going to wait and see what the Weather Service does with this. They have extended it. So we now have a new tornado warning. This is the extension that I just talked about. This will go until 7:30. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Salamanca, moving east at 20. So it is this right here. It is moving east. So this new tornado warning is going to be in effect until 7:30. So we're going to stay here until at least 7:30 or until the storm moves out. So again, you can see this warning now does include the city of Olean and points to the north. So if you are in Olean, I would say Limestone, you're on the northern fringe of this. If you're in Limestone, I would still be in a safe place no matter what, because these storms can jog. So if you're in Salamanca, you need to be in a safe place. I mean, now. I mean, if you're in Salamanca, you need to be in a safe place. I-86 eastbound, Limestone, Olean, almost close to the Cattaraugus-Allegheny County line. So this is the new tornado warning that is in effect until 7:30 tonight for Cattaraugus County. And again, this has been a long, I don't want to call it a long track storm, but this has been one that has been kind of hanging in there. And again, this storm has been weakening and strengthening again. The storm is cycling. It's what we call cycling, where, again, it's almost the same thing that I told you earlier, how storms can wrap themselves up. They choke off the wind and flow, and they weaken, and not a whole lot happens. And then the storm reorganizes again, and that's kind of what's happening here. These storms are cycling, where they kind of strengthen, they weaken off, and then they re-strengthen again. And that's what's happening here. This circulation is a little bit stronger on the newest radar scan, so that is the reason why the Weather Service opted to reissue this tornado warning. And again, this is going to go until 7:30 tonight, so you know the deal here. We've been saying it all night long. You need to be in a safe place, a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows, especially now from basically Salamanca out to the east. So if you're in Olean, you need to be in a safe place now. You need to go through your tornado safety plan now. You need to go to a small interior room on the lowest floor, near the center, and away from windows. You need to go there right now, and you need to just wait the storm out. Again, same thing. If you're on I-86, heading east or west or any of the major highways through the southern part of Cattaraugus County, you need to be, you need to pull off. you need to stop and go into a gas station, a restaurant, a convenience store, any place that'll take you, put your mask on, and just wait out the storm right there. Weather Service indicates that they believe that they see two distinct rotations within this storm. They're telling us that now through our IM conference. They believe that they see two rotation signatures in this storm. Now, that does not mean there could be two tornadoes. That just means there's two areas of rotation that the Weather Service is looking at. And again, any one of these rotations is going to likely drop, or I shouldn't say, could potentially produce a tornado. Let's take a look at the velocity data here, and I think what they're looking at is probably going to be right about in here. You can kind of see right in, hello, what happened there? But what you see right about in here, hello there. Hello. Okay, but there's an area of rotation coming up right about in here. We might be having a data issue, so let me do this very quickly, see if we can put this on, and there we go. So this is the National Radar Composite. Again, this is not a pretty picture, but again, this kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at. It's this area right here, and again, this I believe is, that is Mitch Billinger, I believe, who is out there. Yeah, that's Mitch. I know his truck, so that's Mitch Billinger right there. He's out in Salamanca right now trying to get a view of that. The other view is coming from Sean Sweatman. He's on I-86 trying to intercept this storm to see if we can see anything with this storm. And again, this storm, as I told you, has produced known damage back when the storm first started, got going. And yeah, you can see right here, this is what the Weather Service is looking at now. This is the reflectivity, but it kind of shows you 1, 2. These are the two spots that the Weather Service is looking at. This right here and this right here. So let's put the velocity back on here and see if we can pinpoint the area of rotation for you. And the areas are going to be right about here and here. There's two little areas of rotation that the Weather Service is looking at. This is the main rotation that's been coming through places like Randolph. That's the main line of rotation. Then there's another one that might be developing up here close to Salamanca. So this is all moving to the east. So again, same thing. If you're on I-86, if you're traveling east or west out of Cattaraugus County or through Cattaraugus County, you need to be in a safe place. You need to pull off and just wait out the storm right there. If you're in a home that's a side-built structure or any side-built structure, you need to go to a small room on the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. That is where you need to be right now. And of course, if you're in a mobile home, we know this portion of Cattaraugus County gets very rural. And one of the things that we have is in rural areas around here, people live in mobile homes. They're great. Mobile homes are wonderful, affordable housing. They're wonderful, but you can't stay in them during a tornado. They're unsafe. So you need to have your plan in place, and you need to go through that tornado plan right now. So what we're looking at is in this feed right here, this is Mitch Billinger, and you can see that lowering that he's got right there. That could very well be our storm in question right there. That is that lowering that you see right there, and that is coming from Mitch Billinger. He's in Cattaraugus County right now looking back into this storm. And again, the same thing that we've been stressing all day long, Mitch and Sean Sweatman, who's out there in the Storm Interceptor, both of these guys have been trained for many years. They know what they're doing. They get on the southwest flank of the storm. They're not going to put themselves or anybody else in danger. They know what they're doing. So don't go out and storm chase. Both Mitch and Sean have a lot of equipment on board their vehicles. They know what they're doing. They have the same single site radar products we look at here in the office. They know how to stay safe. So it's the same call that we've been saying all day long. Do not go out and storm chase unless you've had the proper training, because you can get into trouble in a real quick hurry if you don't know what you're doing. So again, that is our storm of concern. And we'll put the reflectivity data back on here. And just to show you, the Weather Service is concerned about these two areas of rotation that are going on in Cattaraugus County. And that is a feed that is coming from Mitch Billinger. And he is out there trying to see if he can see anything with the storm. Got a storm report in from Erie County, but that's Erie County, New York, not our coverage area. And again, if you have any pictures or videos, or if you have any damage that you need to relay to us, you can send it to us here on Facebook. You can also send it to the First Defense weather page on Facebook just by searching up First Defense WX in Facebook. You'll see it there. Or you can also tweet them to me on Twitter. I'm at HuntersWX, HUNTERSWX, and make sure you use the hashtag MyLocalWX, and we will get those pictures and videos and we will relay them. And that is how, because you guys are a window to the world out there, that's how you tell us what's going on. So again, this is the storm in question right here in Cattaraugus County over I-86. This could potentially be the storm that could very well be producing a tornado. And again, you're looking at the live feed coming from Mitch Billinger. He is looking at what could very well possibly be a lowering on his shot. And again, that lowering could very well be that wall cloud that is associated with this storm. And again, we don't know if there is a tornado down with this. And again, we're noticing some good lightning associated in there as well. And again, you know, we don't know if there's a tornado on the ground. We can't make that assumption, but based on the damage, but this storm has produced known damage. As I told you earlier, this storm has had a history of producing damage. And again, we don't know if that damage was related to a tornado or if it was related to straight line winds. We do not know at this point, and quite frankly, it doesn't really matter. You just need to know that this storm has been producing damage and you need to be in a safe place. That's all you really need to know. And this storm is going to be heading up into Salamanca, or close to Salamanca, heading out to the east. So there it is right here. This is the storm in question. It's basically coming up on top of Salamanca right now, and it's going to be moving out to the east. So let's once again take a look at the velocity product here and show you what's going on here. And let's bring up the storm velocity, and I think it's going to show up a little better, I think, now coming from the storm relative velocity versus just the regular Doppler velocity. But again, it's this area right in here. And again, there's been signs that there might be two rotations, again, cloud to ground lightning showing up in Mitch's live stream right there. And again, there could be an area where there is a tornado down with this. And again, we don't know if there is, we don't know if there isn't. We just have to assume that there is one there. And again, you know, it's the same thing I told you earlier on. The Weather Service does not put out these warnings and push that button just to get attention and just go whoop, 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 whoop. They don't do that. They are putting these warnings out because they are there to protect life and property. The Weather Service believes there's a high probability that there could be a tornado associated with this, hence the reason why the Weather Service has issued the warning. They don't do it to get attention. They don't do it to get us on the air because we like to hear ourselves talk. They don't do that. I assure you that. They are only putting these warnings out to protect life and property, which is what they're designed to do, and you need to respect that. So again, what we have right here is the possible tornado that we're looking at on Mitch's live stream, and also on the radar right here. So again, this rotation is near Salamanca. It's going to be heading out to the east. And again, you can see the cars driving out there. And I think a lot of the cars that are stopped here, some of these actually might be storm chasers. One of the things that we get a lot of the times is storm chasers go all across the country to chase severe storms. So we might have some people who are out, who are storm chasing, who are part of a national organization. I'm not sure if they're here, but some of those people who are pulled off on the side of the road might actually be storm chasers. And look at the cloud formation on Mitch's live stream there. And again, that's looking a little ominous when you see it. And again, that's just kind of like low clouds in there. But again, Mitch's live stream has been showing signs of possibly a wall cloud that is associated with this storm. And again, that is why the tornado warning is currently in effect. It is for this storm you see right here. And again, that is a distinct lowering that we're looking at. And again, it's hard to tell if there's a tornado there. We don't know if there is a tornado. We can't make that assumption. And again, lots of lightning in his shots. So again, I'll put the lightning on just to show you that there are lots of ground strokes associated with this. So this is a great reason why you definitely want to be indoors, not just because of the tornado warning, but just because of the lightning. And again, the lightning count is well over 300 strikes. And this is a 10-minute lightning interval. So over 300 strikes over the past 10 minutes. This is a very powerful thunderstorm. And again, we have not seen a storm this powerful with this amount of lightning in it in quite a while. It's been a while since we've had a storm this strong. So again, with the lightning output like this, strong evidence of at least some type of rotation going on back here, and also what looks like a wall cloud, that is why the tornado warning is in effect. This goes until 7:30 tonight for portions of Cattaraugus County. So let's go ahead and show you once again who is in and who is out. This tornado warning does not include Randolph anymore. So if you are in Randolph, you can get out of your safe place and go about your business. If you are in Salamanca, you have to be sheltered right now. I mean, there is no doubt about it. This storm is basically just to the south of you. Even though it looks like the core of this storm is just to the south of Salamanca, if you're in Salamanca or north of Salamanca, you want to be in a safe place no matter what. So again, Salamanca, I-86 eastbound, Limestone, the storm is moving like this. This will likely clip the northern parts of Limestone possibly, but it doesn't matter. If you're in Limestone, just be in a safe place. And also the same thing for Olean here. If you're in the city of Olean, you need to be in a safe place. And again, you need to be doing your tornado plans right now. You need to get into a safe place right now. That is a small room on the lowest floor near the center, away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. Nobody should be driving along I-86 or any of the highways that go in or out of Cattaraugus County. This is our storm in question right here near Salamanca, moving to the east. And once again, again, we're checking the Weather Service chat here. And again, nothing in terms of damage so far. And again, Robert Hamilton, he's one of the meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Buffalo. He's saying it's a great light show down in the southern tier. And indeed, again, if you saw the lightning counter up here just a minute ago, over 300 strikes over the past 10 minutes. Again, and again, you know, something exclusive we have in First Defense Doppler is the ability to show you the live lightning strikes as well. Yes, sir.
Hey, can you pull up your remote connection on your laptop and go to Facebook and check the messenger from Andrew? Damage from Mayville tornado earlier today.
Okay, so we might end up having at least some damage. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull that up. So we're going to do a little IT work over here to try to show you this. So actually, I'm going to kind of scoop my way off the wall just so you can see this here. So that is our tornado warning that is in effect for portions of Cattaraugus County. And again, near Salamanca, same thing that we've been telling you all day long, or at least throughout the past hour or two. If you're in Salamanca, you have to be in a safe place now, and especially further out to the east. That storm is a strong storm that could potentially have a tornado down with it. And this storm has produced what could be known damage with this storm as well. And we are getting now coming in of what looks like storm damage here. And I'm pulling that up right now. And let me see. Okay, so what we have here is and again, I'm not seeing the image control room. I'm not seeing the image in question. But anyway, let's go back to the radar here, and I'll show you the velocity data. And again, what the Weather Service is looking at is potentially what could be a couple areas of rotation right back in here. And again, this is the storm in question right here south of Salamanca. And that is going to be the area where we see, it's right in here, that area of rotation heading eastward. east of Salamanca, so going out towards Olean. So again, same thing, Olean, you need to be in a safe place as the storm progresses out to the east. Again, this storm has produced known damage. We know that. We don't know if it was a report of a tornado or not. We don't know that. We don't play that game here of trying to determine if it was a tornado or straight line wind, but you just need to know that this storm has had a history of producing damage, and this storm is moving out to the east near Salamanca. So this storm is moving like this, and it's going to basically straddle along I-86 moving out that way. So what we are looking at here is, and hold on a minute here. So let's go back to the reflectivity data here, and I will show you the reflectivity data of what's going on here. So the storm in question is going to be right there. That is south of Salamanca. That is our storm in question that is potentially producing the potential severe thunderstorm right there. And what I'm going to do is I am actually going to do a little behind the scenes magic. So what you're looking at right there is first defense Doppler, and that is our storm in question right there that could potentially have a tornado down within it. And again, all day long, we've been talking about how these storms could have at least some minor rotation within there, and that has certainly been the case. These storms all day have been pretty hot with their lightning output, and what you see right there is the storm in Salamanca, and again, this storm is moving out to the east near Olean. So again, where you see this little notch right here, that's called an inflow notch, where the winds are coming back into the storm, that is where you need to be. That is the potential tornado right there, and it looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for the western end of this line that's coming on through here. So again, notice this bow-shaped echo right here. This also includes, this is our new severe thunderstorm warning, which includes the city of Jamestown and Falconer and I-86, basically straddling almost the same areas where we had the tornado warning in effect earlier. So now we have a lot of polygons up here, but we'll take them one by one. We have a flash flood warning here for portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County until 9:45 tonight. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County. That's the orange polygon right here. That's until 8 o'clock for this western branch of the line. We have our main action, which is our tornado warning for portions of central Cattaraugus County. That is basically south of Salamanca going out to Olean. And then there's another severe thunderstorm warning basically straddling the southern end of this line, going out into Allegheny County. So there's a lot of things going on right here. So this is what we're looking at. This is our main concern right here. This area of rotation that is going on right here, and pardon me while I walk through the wall here, but this is our storm in question right here. And so again, that storm has been producing what could very well be a tornado. We don't know if the damage we have had earlier is associated with a tornado. But if we can go to the pictures, that would be great if we have the ability to do pictures. Thank you very much. This is damage that apparently has occurred from this storm as it came on through. And again, we don't know if this is tornado damage. We don't know if this is straight line wind damage. We don't know that. But this is damage that occurred with this line of storms as it with this particular storm as it came on through. And again, this storm has been producing what could be a tornado, and it's been producing a possible tornado over the past couple of, I would say over the past hour or so. There has been a lot of data suggesting that we could very well have a tornado down with this storm. And again, this storm has been the hot storm for all of us all day long today. This storm has been very hot in terms of not just its intensity, but the lightning output as well is very intense. And again, this is damage to a barn, And again, you can see the roof is almost gone there. Lots of damage there. And again, this is damage that has occurred with that storm that is south of Salamanca right now, heading out to the east. So this storm has had a history of producing damage. You can see people out there looking like they're trying to clean up what happened there, but you can see a barn destroyed there. And again, we don't know if this is tornado damage, if this is straight line wind damage. We don't know. There's some trees down. And again, it's the same thing. We don't know if this was straight line or tornado damage. We just know it was damage that was associated with this particular thunderstorm. And as of right now, we don't know if anybody is injured or if we have any injuries with this. I hope we don't. But again, the data can be very sparse, especially during this time when things are starting to kind of see what happened, when people are getting out and starting to see what happens. So the good news, the Weather Service has canceled the tornado watch for Erie and Crawford counties. So that is good news. The tornado watch for Erie, the severe thunderstorm watch, the severe thunderstorm watch for Erie and Crawford counties has been canceled. So that is good news, which is kind of expected. Nothing's going on behind this main line here. So all the area that you see in pink, that is a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 9 o'clock tonight. So Erie and Crawford counties, as well as Ashtabula, Ohio, the severe thunderstorm watch is over. Pretty soon that's going to be going off the board. But the watch continues for all of the southern tier and the remainder of northwestern Pennsylvania until 9 o'clock. And really, since the bulk of these storms are moving out to the east, likely the watch will be cleared probably by around the top of the hour, probably around 8 o'clock. I would not be surprised if the Weather Service in Buffalo opts to remove the westernmost counties out of this severe thunderstorm watch. But all the counties in pink, that is a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 9 o'clock tonight. So again, we'll go back down here and take a look at our storm of concern. This is our storm that could very well be producing a tornado right here east of Salamanca, coming out near Olean. Again, this tornado warning is set to expire in 6 minutes. So again, we'll see if this is going to be another case of another extension. We'll see what they'll do with this. But again, this storm is now east of Salamanca. It's heading over I-86 right now, heading basically close to Olean. The core segment of this likely will pass probably to the north of Olean, but even if you're in Olean, I want you in a safe place no matter what. I mean, if you're in the city limits of Olean, if you have an Olean mailing address, you need to be in a safe place. I mean, this storm, as we just showed you, has had a history of producing damage. We don't know if it was tornado damage, straight line wind damage, who cares? It doesn't matter at this point. You just need to know it has produced damage, and you need to just be aware of that. You don't want to be in a car. You don't want to be in a mobile home. You don't want to be up on the top floor of your house. If you are in a side-built structure, you want to be in the lowest floor. If you've got a basement, that works best. Go down in that. If you don't, just go into a small interior room, a hall, closet, a bathroom, something that's interior, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can, and just wait it out right there. And again, the same thing that we've been saying all night long, you need to have a readiness kit of things. Make sure you have helmets for everybody. And again, same thing, there's been peer-reviewed studies that show people who wear helmets, who take a direct hit from a tornado, helmets greatly increase your chance of survival, because a lot of injuries to people who take a direct hit from a tornado, a lot of the injuries are in the skull region. And there's been a lot of peer-reviewed studies that show helmets will save your life. So have a helmet on. Make sure you have hard sole shoes in case you have to walk over tornado debris. Make sure you have ID on you, a whistle or an air horn in case you need help and you're not able to vocalize that need. And again, all of the first responders have been trained to listen for that. And again, that's one of the, and again, that's something that's, again, that's all the first responders. And again, they go through that. Again, in training, they are trained to listen for air horns and whistles, essentially when they do search and rescue for people who might be trapped. So again, this tornado warning is gonna continue until 7:30 for about 4 more minutes. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another reissuance. Again, this storm has been hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. I mean, this has been hanging in there. So again, where you see that little inflow notch right there, that could be that area of where the winds are are coming through. And again, that's where the winds are coming back into the storm. That's where the rotation is. I'll show you the velocity very quickly here, just to show you what the rotation looks like now. And once again, the area of rotation is going to be right about in here. And again, it's basically over I-86 right now. So again, this has not yet hit. Again, this is starting. How long have we been here? Way too long. That's how long we've been here. But you can see this area right here. This is going to be that area of a possible tornado. We don't know if there is a tornado. We just know it's a potential that there could be one here. It's going to be right here moving east. Now, once again, these are kind of slow moving storms today. And again, tornado warnings are issued in 45-minute intervals. So more than likely, the Weather Service will probably reissue this for Olean. These storms are only moving at about 20 to 40 miles an hour. So the problem with that is the storms are not moving halfway through the polygon. So by the time the warning expires, we're coming up on 7:30, it's only moved about halfway through the polygon. And the warning is set to expire in about 3 minutes. And that's the problem we have sometimes, is these storms can be slow moving, or they can be fast moving, and they can sometimes outrun the polygon, where the Weather Service is, constantly trying to put out the warning. But again, they're slow moving today. So again, with a slow moving storm, that's also going to produce a lot of rain. And again, we do have that flash flood warning that is in effect. It is this blinking maroon polygon right here. That is the flash flood warning that goes back into Chautauqua County, and that is where that line of storms has been coming on through. So again, in 2 more minutes, we'll see what the Weather Service does with this. My gut opinion, they'll reissue based on the fact that we still have some type of rotation here. Now, looking at it now, it doesn't look as intense as it once did, but this storm has had a history of what's called cycling, where there seems to be like an inclusion process that's happening, where the inflow is cut off and the storm chokes itself off and the storm weakens, and there's a period where just a whole lot where nothing really happens, and then the storm reorganizes. And that might be the trend with these storms. So the storm looks like it might have weakened right now, but it could pulse right back up again. So we'll see what the Weather Service does with this. And if they decide to reissue, they're likely going to be reissuing based on the fact that this storm has been, pardon me, that this storm has basically been cycling all night long. So if they decide to reissue, that's likely going to be the reason, because the storm has been cycling up and down throughout the day today. So again, this tornado warning is set to expire in about 15 or so seconds. We'll see if there's a reissuance with this particular warning. Again, would not be surprised if they do, because this storm has only moved about halfway through the polygon. Again, it's been a slow moving storm today. So a lot of the storms today have kind of had a slower forward motion to them. So we'll see what they will do with this. But now that tornado warning is off the board, we'll wait here for a second and see what they're going to do. Again, nothing yet based on what they've got. They have said that Robert Hamilton from the Weather Service in Buffalo said that the storm has lost a lot of its gate-to-gate shear, broad rotation continues. So basically this storm, as I showed you here, it doesn't look as tight as it once did. It's really broadened out. And we'll see what the Weather Service does with this. There is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect, but we'll see what they will opt to do with this. They have issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 8 o'clock. That was at 7:17. So they might opt not to reissue because they have the severe thunderstorm warning. But we'll wait here for just a couple of minutes and see what they're going to do with this. And Mitch is currently, and Mitch Billinger, as I should say, he is heading out to Olean right now to try to see if he can see anything with what's left of this rotation. Now, it could be this storm might have just weakened off entirely. But again, there is a severe thunderstorm warning right here. Let me back this out just a little bit here and show you what's going on here. He's actually in Carrollton, which is coming up into Ketterog, which is coming up in there. So again, this area that you see right here, that's a new flash flood warning that you see right there. But this is the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued here. So this also includes the city of Olean. We'll see what they're going to do with this. Again, because, okay, they have expired the tornado warning. They are not going to reissue. So that is the good news. So the tornado warning for Cattaraugus County has expired. They are not going to reissue it. They have instead replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is this flashing orange polygon you see right there. That is the severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 8 o'clock. And that is for this little lone area of rotation. Again, it's very broad, so there's a chance that this storm could very well have just kind of moved away from the better dynamics and has started to weaken off. So the good news is the Weather Service is not going to reissue the tornado warning for Cattaraugus County. It is done. They have since replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning until 8 o'clock. What you see right here in the left-hand box is Mitch Billinger. He is on his way to Olean right now. He's in Carrollton right now, heading out to Olean to try to intercept this as it comes on through. But again, the storm has weakened beyond the overall rotation has really weakened off here. And so the Weather Service believes that a tornado warning is not in the best course of action. They have decided to issue a severe thunderstorm warning instead. So let me go back and show you what's coming through the western part here, why we have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. Whoops, I bumped into my computer there. But the line of storms that were coming through Jamestown is now basically through Randolph. So Randolph, once again, you're getting another pounding. But the good news is this is not a tornado warning storm. It is just a severe thunderstorm warning. But there could be some strong winds associated with this, maybe some hail and very heavy rain. Again, these storms have almost near tropical downpours today because of the humidity we have. So again, any one of these storms could be producing torrential rainfall, and this flashing maroon polygon you see right there, that is a flash flood warning until 9 o'clock tonight, which basically includes Cherry Creek, Randolph, going up into Cattaraugus. That is basically where the areas where there could very well be some flash flooding going on right there. So Mitchell Billinger says he is on Nichols Run Road in Carrollton, heading out to Olean. And again, I think we might have lost Mitch Billinger's live feed. And again, one of the things that we talked about all night long is we're very rural here. So, we get into that area of no cell coverage. But again, right now we have no tornado warning. They have opted to expire the tornado warning for Cattaraugus County, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County until 8 o'clock, along with a flash flood warning until 9 o'clock, which includes Randolph, Cattaraugus, Cherry Creek, and areas in that flashing polygon. I'll give you one more shot of the wide view of radar just to show you what's going on. After this line of storms clears through, we are likely going to be done with our weather for today. And then tomorrow, we actually turn much more humid and hotter for tomorrow. And this is the severe thunderstorm watch, just to show you. They have cleared Erie and Crawford counties out of the severe thunderstorm watch. It continues for all of Western New York until 9 o'clock. I would not be a bit surprised if the Weather Service at the top of the hour decides to start removing counties, especially behind that main line. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up coverage. And again, what we're going to do is we are going to wrap up coverage here. We're going to be here, we're going to be here all night long, keeping our eye on damage, seeing what's going on, and we're going to keep you updated on social media right here. And tomorrow we'll have all the latest on News Now at noon, right here on that's right here on Facebook Live and on our 24-hour streaming network, and also on our mobile app as well. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to get some dinner because I haven't had my dinner yet. And so I'm going to get some dinner, and we will keep you updated all night long on social media. So basically, thank you for joining us here for our severe weather coverage, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow at noon. Have a good night.
This is a First Defense weather alert.